So, and we actually acknowledge it, but in the course of it, I still have to do so. So,
okay.
But it was a beautiful one because that was in the course of it. I celebrated my son's birthday.
Yeah, that's also important. That's nice. Okay, let's get straight into the dailies this morning. Rivers resident kick against lockdown, seek ban on foreigners, and COVID-19 second wave. Federal government, National Assembly consider UK-US flights ban next week, and Bishop Matthew Cookers receives backing. Catholic says Bishop agent of evil, and transporting Gudu assent to 141.64 billion naira 2021 budget for Kebbi, and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu COVID-19 Oxygen Therapy Center. Also, 150 years, this day newspaper has the headline, to contain COVID-19 spread, federal government issues travelers permit, and NMA, we must test COVID-19 vaccine before administering to Nigeria. Okay, it's on the This Day newspaper this morning. And Senate President charges Southeast leaders to continue in unity. And President Buhari did not demand. From there to the Guardian paper this morning. Do well to send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. 070 317 56537. The Nigerian Medical Association seek life insurance for doctors' orders over COVID-19. And also XN. Okay. He also has a forum, Lord's President Buhari's appointment of NDDC sole administrators, and no apology to President Buhari over summon on insecurity, House of Rep. The Nation newspaper has the headline, 2 million jobless as government suspends SIM card registration. Nigerian Medical Association, Nigeria should conduct its own COVID-19 vaccine trial. The task force has termed Apapa traffic gridlock. Okay. This is come from Kayode. Also, Lagos to battle Apapa gridlock with special squad, and the pen pushing hazard. Police arrest alleged human trafficking kingpin. State. I'm really happy to hear news of, one of these traffickers being apprehended. Sometimes in the course of the year, we had the opportunity of speaking with one of these rescue mission persons on the radio, and the woman was very discreet by saying things like, I decide not to talk. I'm not saying anything.
I listened to that very particular program that she said that she could not talk much because of those that are involved. If she does, our life is at stake.
And trafficking is actually, I was also listening to some conversations somewhere in the US, and I was listening to how big this business is.
Market.
That's also like about $11 billion US business market globally, and
that's right.
Talking about the fact that this particular market is something that is illegal, and we see the danger in it. And I think one of the trafficking we only talk about here is human trafficking for prostitution and maybe slavery. We don't talk about the ones that, and they also still happen. We hear stories that come out from people who were rescued in Libya, people who their organs are being taken out, their liver or kidney, a way to be trafficked out of the country in a bid for
I
a
also
better
watch it sometimes about it.
And I was really worried about how this has become the norm. We have normalized these things.
You see, the reason why you say that they are not achieving anything in that respect is because of the people that are behind it. These are the so-called the power and the might, not only in Nigeria, all over the world. You tend to see where this guy, the guy that has a case in US,
okay,
and in England as well, or something like Epstein or so, who actually got involved in underage girls, having an affair with them.
Okay,
these kind of jobs they use them to do. It is called modern day slavery. Forget the fact that you call it trafficking. It's modern day slavery. One, these people, sorry, I need to really move this. I'm not comfortable with it. Honestly. These people, one, They use them for prostitution, like you said. They use them as domestic workers.
Yes.
Not just the way they do in the normal client. They will use them. No,
I was watching.
it's pathetic
there's this
when you
particular
hear
place
their stories.
where slavery is allowed. I can't remember the country right now.
Is it in Arab?
Yes,
the Arabian country.
I
Yeah,
was watching a documentary on how people are being sold.
yeah, they sell them.
internet.
Yeah, they sell them. Even in Saudi Arabia, you know that you can't just leave your house and say you want to go to the embassy. No, they will return you back. I read about it. They will return you back, asking the domestic owner, the domestic staff owner, that has he been able to pay back? Has he worked the terms that the person needed to work before he can be allowed? No, a lot of things is going on in the world.
Okay.
But the problem is that the so-called people are the ends of our fear. I'm not even talking about Africa. I'm talking about the Western world. These are the people that they are cronies. They and their cronies are the one behind the scene.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so difficult.
I talked about it one time with someone. I was like, why can't we flag these countries? Why can't we never issue visas to these countries so that nobody is able to travel to these countries?
Daniel, how do you flash these countries? These are the people that are the one you are looking up to. These are people that are giving you all the necessary assistance when it comes to funds. So it is difficult, except until Nigeria or Africa as a whole, we're able to stand on our own, until we become independent of the Western world. That is when we can ask questions. The Yoruba says that until that is when but you don't have the wherewithal. You don't technologically, we are not there. Economically, we are not there. In almost in every aspect, we are not there. So how do you now expect us to now ask those core people that we are looking up to questions?
Okay, so I wanted to take you up on that one, and I want to look at it from we ourselves, like individuals, our own individuals. Now, because I want to take the story of the lady who was captured. Apparently, it looks like it's a couple's affair. Now, operatives of the Ogun State Police Command have 8 girls to Italy. The headline actually is on the This Day newspaper. On the Vanguard, actually, the Vanguard says, "How I trafficked young girls to my husband in Italy for prostitution." Now, a statement by the command spokesman, Abimbola Oyeyemi, indicated that the suspect was apprehended on December 22nd, 2020. According to Oyeyemi, the arrest of the suspect followed a report by one Oluwaseun and both residents of the town in Obafemi Owode area of Ogun State who reported to the Owode police station. The suspect abducted their daughters named Blessing and Hamzat, and 15 and 16. They further explained that the suspect, who is a notorious human trafficker, was about taking the 2 girls to Libya, where they would be forced into prostitution. Now, one of the strength of the report, on the strength of the report, the DPO of Owode Division, CSP Matthew Idiasa, swung into action with his detectives, and through intelligence-driven investigation, they succeeded in arresting the suspect. This is one of the rare cases where we see these traffickers are being caught. A lot of the times we don't get to see, and I want to put it this way, that one day, every day for the thief, one day for the owner.
Over the time, this is not the first time they are talking about that comfort. She has been in that business over the years, and she has been doing it. Not that they don't know. You see, our problem is that until we too, within the environment, until we become our brother's keepers, that is when we'll be able to see reduction in this trade.
Okay.
Now, if had it been the children of those people were not adopted, they wouldn't say anything. That's the problem we are having.
Okay.
Until we become our brother's keepers, until we begin to watch for the other person, and when anything goes wrong, we swift into action immediately. That is when this thing can be curbed.
I thought of this and look at how these girls are being transported. So they're first going to be taken to Kaduna, then from Kaduna Now, I'm looking at what are we doing? We are reopening our borders, right? And that's why this news can come up, because our borders are beginning to open up, and we're opening our borders before all our borders, according to Mr. Finance, should be open before the end of the year. This business would vibe, it would boom back, and this is something that we haven't effectively dealt with our security agents. We see the level of corruption that exists. The Oloture movie, I'm even surprised that they didn't clamp down on the movie, because they did that with a movie where they deplete EFCC and then they shot the movie out of cinemas. But I was surprised that they didn't do that with this Oloture movie, that when they saw the exchange of money for the visas of the passport of these girls to be allowed to pass through the border, and I was surprised they didn't clamp down on it. So there's some iota of truth with the fact that there is corruption among some of these officers who are at the borders, who know these traffickers.
And one thing we all know is that for any illegal business to thrive, then there are corrupt officers behind the scene. That's the only way it can thrive. Because if they are not corrupt, I tell you, they will clamp down on them. They will not be able to go through the borders. At least that Oloture, don't forget, they went through Seme border. They went through Seme border.
Yes.
And how can they go out with such numbers of people, and the immigration there, the police there, every agencies there could not ask questions, could not bring one or two people out? When you see crowd, okay, are you going for excursion? There should be documents. There should be documents to prove.
But we must not undermine the fact that traffickers are they're very smart people.
They are
very smart people. If you follow through on that movie, you saw the change of the boss from a school name to a missionary name.
I saw virtually everything. But if we have to curb it, you see, there shouldn't be just agencies like that. There should be psychologists as well at that border. Maybe they could be in the hands of the agencies.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe among one of the personnel could be a psychologist. There should be these people there so that they'll be able to read the body languages. When I look into your eye, I should be able to tell if you are comfortable or not. And the moment I see that you are not comfortable, the next thing for me to do, I will not do as if I'm able to see. The next thing I will do, I'll bring somebody else instead of you out of that group, so that they will know that I got that wink from you.
Well, there's still a lot to be done about trafficking, and I believe that, like you rightly said, that we need to be our brother's keeper. That is one of the ways we can actually bring an end to this issue of trafficking. It's not just Nigeria that is battling trafficking, globally all over the world. So it's going to be pretty difficult for us to say we're going to.
Nigeria only civil minimal. When you talk about this issue, trafficking is a business over there.
All right,
a great business.
Now let's talk about the Papa. So over the weekend, I was able to go through the Mile 2, Oshodi Mile 2, towards Festac Papa Road, and I was like, wow, this is this place that that was like my first time of really getting to that. I think I have been there before, but that's like now being aware of that environment. And I see when they say gridlock, you see tankers left and right, front. There is nowhere.
Bumper to bumper.
Tanker containers everywhere there. But now there are so many headlines this morning with regards to this. And I think I just want us to take it one step at a time. I want us to first talk about the cost. Now, this is something that I had spoken with. I have a few friends who are in transport, shipping in. And then they talk about this thing. They say, Daniel, shipping from Germany more cheaper than shipping from the port to my warehouse in Aja. And I'm like, how is that possible? How is shipping from Germany all that way down to the port easier, more convenient? And when it gets to your port here in the country, we look at the issue. So there's a report on the Punch newspaper by Eniola Akinkoto in Abuja, who says the congestion of the Apapa port in Lagos has become so sad that trucking a container from the port to the mainland, which is just about 20 kilometers, now cost about $4,000, which is around 1.5 million naira, which is almost the same cost of one container from China to Nigeria. This is according to the Financial Times of London, titled Nigeria's Port Crisis, the $4,000 charges to carry goods across Lagos. Now, this function in Lagos is allowing other West African ports servicing far smaller markets to the current situation in Nigeria, places like Lomé in Togo is now a region's busiest port. The cargo destined Nigeria is increasingly offloading or shipped via smaller vessels, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, and Congo Brazzaville. And this is the reality of things. That's why the closure of our borders has not allowed us to really see this development. We see that why was there an increase? Government shut down the borders. I was listening to Lai Mohammed one time talking about the fact that we're not getting the levies on some of these containers. You know, they take 5 containers coming through Seme, they pack everything inside one container, bring it in, pay for only just one container. And then you asking yourself, what are you doing with regards to developing your own borders? But let's still concentrate on Apapa gridlock, as the government have said that they are going to use special squad to actually deal with the issue on the Apapa gridlock, the Lagos to battle Apapa gridlock with special squad. Now, with Lagos looking at taking over the operation of this Apapa road, and because it's actually a federal way because of the port there. But with this current situation of things, with the government about to deploy about 400 to 500 personnel to its traffic management authority, reported as last month, to actually oversee this particular issue, how do is this actually solving the problem? Because this is not the first time we are talking about the Apapa gridlock.
You see, the Apapa gridlock will always been a system thing. Why do I say that? Is that when the bureaucracy of getting goods out from the port is another thing entirely. You know, when your system is not working optimally, and when you have those that are there, and most of them, all they are interested in is how to make money into their own pocket. So they make it very difficult for the clearing agents, you know, to get this good out easily until certain percentage are paid into their accounts. So that is why there is no way until we have a way by which we can solve this problem, that this when it comes to clearing goods in the port, we make it easier. They should even make it online. Let it be online. If it's online, I can easily clear my goods. You can easily clear your goods.
Yes.
I've paid, I haven't paid to the customer and everything, all the tariffs I needed to be paid, I haven't paid. Then the next thing is for me to print out and take it to the port. And if that is done, and you have people, everything, not even just taken to the port, everything here must be electronics, so that it will not be delayed again, because they will be charging you, and you have to put down certain amount before your truck can move out. So you see, a lot of things is involved. We are just looking at the trucks that are being parked.
So
yes.
Are we saying now that the issue with Apapa gridlock is more human than a system problem?
No, the both goes hand in hand, a pari passu.
Okay.
You know, when you talk about the system, the human has the one operating the system.
Okay.
That one you should understand. So, and for them to make their money, they must make it a bit difficult for the ordinary person. Like I told you sometimes ago, I said demurrage is another way by which they make money over there. And if Apapa port is congested, then let us decongest Apapa port. How do we do that? Let's open other ports. It's not only Lagos port that is in Nigeria.
Actually,
we have in Calabar, we have in Ondo State, we have everywhere. Please let them do something about that.
Those ports.
Yes.
So Olu actually frowned at the situation where the ports are locked down for about 8 to 10 hours because somebody is trying to take over from a colleague, and owners of the goods are made to pay excess demurrage. Now, he added that we have heard all the complaints from various stakeholders, the union, freight forwarders, and drivers. Everyone has said their own side of the story, and we can see that it is faced situation. There have been accusations around a cabal collecting money from operators, and accusations of duties being hijacked by some people, and there have been counter accusations also. So Olu also said that he would also discuss with some of about the issues affecting traffic flow in Apapa with the Nigerian Port Authority. He said that as a government, we do not owe the port, but we have a responsibility to our citizens. There is need for a turnaround around Apapa because it's a residential and a commercial area at the same time, and coming down from there, I was in that axis all through Sunday and coming back out of that way Monday, traffic on that way.
What do you expect?
4 a.m. in the
Even,
morning. I was already like almost like shaky. Like, am I going to get to work?
Daniel, you should even be thankful that the road that leads to Papa is okay now.
Yes.
When the road was terrible, you need to know that you can't even get there. You can't even get there. You are with the truck that are already parked and the roads are bad. You know, no movement. And not just Apapa only that it affected. Even the Western Avenue.
Okay.
Oh my God, you need to see what we face then. You are going already, the road is being minimized to just one lanes that are parked. And oh my God, when you have about, let me say, on Lagos Road on daily basis, let's just look at that road called Western Avenue. Minimum of about 200 don't let me be that. Let me say about 20,000 vehicles ply that road in the morning. Inward Victoria Island, inward Apapa, through Western Avenue. And now look at the trucks. Now the road is now made to be one lane. So you can imagine what the traffic situation there will be. How people that means most people that are working on the island, most people working in Apapa, wherever they are, they have to wake up as early as 3-4 to be on the way,
to be on the road,
so that they can get to work on time. If not, they'll be getting to work 10 o'clock. Some even, you see them, they are there 12 o'clock. And some will call the office and say, sir, we are still here, sir. The boss will just say, there is no need coming to the office today, it's better you turn back. So these are the problems that we have been facing over the time. Let us open other ports. And at the same time, the bureaucracy. There must be, you see, our government must be sincere.
Okay.
In dealing with those people that are making life difficult for those that are clearing their goods at the port. It's important. When goods are there, and the vehicles that are meant to transport the goods are already parked. I've seen severally. You will have hired a vehicle that's going to transport your goods. That vehicle is counting. You have paid. If it stays more than a day, you pay. So these are the problems. You see, now that these people are not crazy. That's why they say the cost is high. It's going to be high. When the vehicle that is going to transport a good that has been hired is spending 3-4 days to convey the goods out of the port, then you will pay for it. And it's not cheap. They are paying as much as within Lagos, it's about 1,000 naira.
I remember I had to clear something from the port one time. I had to pay about, it was from the port out of Lagos, and it cost me about 150.
Even from inside the port to the outside of the port, ask them. It's so much high. So, and the vehicle that you have hired is there spending days. And at the same time, this vehicle will still come and meet other traffics on the road before he can get to his destination. So before he could get to the destination, you must have spent about minimum of 5 to 7 days on the road. And you are going to pay for that. So why would the cost of goods not go high?
All right. This is the newspaper review. And yes, one of the major stories this morning across different dailies is with regards to the Apapa gridlock, and also looking at solutions into ending this gridlock. More officers is what the Lagos State government is looking at doing. The Lagos State government is also looking at finding ways to drag in more, look at these issues that some of the stakeholders have actually raised, working with every of these port authorities in order to decongest the traffic on these highways. Let's find out from you, what are the possible solutions to these issues on the Apapa gridlock. All right, 07000 070 317 565 37 070 317 565 37. All right, we move to another headline this morning, which is regards to only 11% of workforce is enrolled in pension. It's on the Vanguard newspaper. This coming from the Penn Fund. It said despite the astronomical growth record in pension fund, only 11% of workforce is enrolled in the contributory pension scheme. That's the CPS and the micro pension scheme, and the number needs to improve. The Pensioners Association of Nigeria, PENOP, has said. Head of Media Communications and Branding Committee of PENOP, who is the chief executive of the Fidelity Pension Limited, Mrs. Amaka Azike, disclosed this during a webinar organized by Pension Correspondent. Now, I think it was early this year, in the course of the pandemic, I started reading up about pension, reading up about 401k and the likes, with regards to how important these things are, accumulating this all over time. And I know this applies to those who have a 9 to 5 or those who work under an organization. But looking at the fact that we have only 11% registered, and I'm sure a larger chunk of this 11% will be attributed to the public sector, not the private sector. So I'm concerned of the longevity plan for a lot of organizations where companies are looking for ways to avoid paying tax. They are acquiring more contract staffs than full-time staff, because the moment you have a full-time staff, you're paying tax on that staff. Although I think the tax actually comes from the staff salary at the end of the day. So just literally no much different. But the other benefits that comes with staffing a person is what a lot of companies are trying to avoid. Now, if we find ourselves in this position where we have only 11% and the workforce is growing, the unemployment rate is also expanding as the workforce is growing, how do we come to a point where, because this is financial knowledge right now, this is financial empowerment. Somebody retires and they don't have to work, but they have to earn money while not working. And a lot of people are not in this place. I was talking to a friend yesterday and it was really bitter. He was talking about the fact that his mom had worked for a very long time and there was literally almost nothing to show for it, because she had worked for so long and she was taking care of her kids, sending her kids to school, paying school fees, taking care of the family. And by the time she passed on, it was like there was nothing left. What was the essence of working for almost 30 years?
35 years.
And it was really sad. Hearing that, I was like, and that's true at the end of the day.
You see, the problem is that the system is so bad. It's so bad. These are the aspects that the labor needs to look into holistically. Like you said, it's not only, you see, when you look at the casual workers, the numbers of casual workers everywhere is so high. Even those these factories around, most of their workers are casual workers. Even these good organizations, I'm even talking about the banking sector now. The banking sector have reduced most of their staff. If you go to any branch of any bank, I tell you the numbers of core staff that may be there may not be more than 6 or 10. Those people you are seeing on the counter, the teller points, they are casual workers. Honestly, these guys are graduates. Yeah. They are casual workers. They are being employed by a particular agency for each bank. So, and the reason why they do that is to cost the overhead cost. That's what they're doing. They're cutting it. Because, as a core staff, you are entitled to so many benefits.
Yes.
And they don't want to pay these benefits. So that's why they resolved in employing casual staff. So in each branch of every bank, you have, I'm telling you, core staff are no more than between the numbers of casual workers everywhere, even in these factories around. What is it that the labor is doing? All they are doing is they want to fight the fight that they have already lost. No, let them look at the welfare of the workers, Nigerian workers.
Last week on Christmas Day, I had a certified therapist speak on the radio, and I looked at it at the fact that one of the things that is affecting a lot of Africans, Black people generally, is the fact that we have not been able to accumulate wealth and transfer it from one generation to the other. And then we see a lot of people, and I think that's the trend. From what you're saying now, I was just thinking of it, that what we are having right now is we are building a team of young people who are most likely earning money, feeding themselves, and taking care of their families. But 30, 40 years from now, what would become of these people?
Yeah, I wouldn't say useless.
What would become financially?
I wouldn't say.
I know we're getting smarter. There's really
you know what I mean is that I wouldn't say useless, because that would be a terrible word to use on them. But I tell you, they'll be depressed, they'll be dejected, because by then they will see that they have only served and they have not made anything.
Then we
Because
see people who are still in their 60s, 70s, finding something, looking for something to do instead of just sitting down, relaxed and retired.
let's look at it. Somebody has put in the best part of his life into a particular sector, minimum of 35 years. He has put into a particular sector, and afterwards he retires, and nothing he can lay down his hand on and say, "Oh, this is what I'm able to achieve," and at the same time, I'll be getting this little money from somewhere, at least to keep on with life. No, that's not there. I have a friend who I met sometimes. What was it, last year or so? I told him, I said, "Bro, come. You used to be a business person. He used to be a businessman while we were in school. And after school, this guy went into white collar job. At the end of the day, when I called him, I said, you have been working in this company for some time now. What is even with your gratuity, like all this stuff?" When the guy showed me, he said that's what he was even coming, that's the office he was coming from. So he showed me, he said, about $1 million business that you used to do there. Do you know that within 1 month you will get this $1,500,000 there? So why do you see the problem is that we ourselves, we have trained our children and said we have the parents, we have problem, and the system also have problem. We are educating our children to go and get a job. We are not educating our children to be self-reliance.
Okay, I want to pause your thoughts there and put this question out there. I feel like every time I hear that line of we're training our children to become, get jobs and not become entrepreneurs, this generation has proven different. We have a huge rise in number of young entrepreneurs on the rise right now. But my question is, everybody is not going to be an entrepreneur.
Excuse me, you see, not everybody is going to be an entrepreneur. Accepted. But there must be a plan P for you. Plan B for you, in the sense that when anything goes wrong with your plan A, you can always fall back on the plan B, which is where we are talking about. They must have business acumen.
Okay.
Very, very important. When you look at everyone that will say, okay, you are talking about your generation now that you guys are, no, you see, the aspect you people are into, yes, the online businesses here and there going on, but don't forget that the major part of any country has to do with production.
Okay.
That is the only country that can thrive. It has to do with production. How many of you people are looking to that area? All you people are doing is digital marketing.
That is the future.
Yeah, it is the future, but digital marketing is not production.
Okay.
We should understand that. So we should, you see, what you guys need to do, especially now that you said, okay, you are into business. Yeah. All you people are looking now is the money now. But there should be a projection for the future. You should have something that you think, okay, if I establish this now, it's going to even outlive me. That is why like you said, we don't pass over.
Yes, we've not done a great job at passing over
to all the next generation. That's the problem we'll be having in Africa as a whole. And it's not only, if you look at the Jew, that's why the Jew are thriving. Wherever they are, all their businesses are generational businesses. Once a father is into a business, the children will also learn that business and they continue the business until we come to that level of understanding. Our problem is that we want to be known as a white collar job person. We want to, okay, we've schooled. You haven't gone to school. You don't want them to see you in the line of your father's business. Maybe your father is a messy man, or your father is a builder, and you see what you should do. I think you should do is, how can you modernize it? How can you take it to another level, better than your father's level? Oh, your father used to be a cobbler, and you are forgetting that those shoes that you are wearing is a cobbler that is doing it somewhere
else.
So why don't you modernize it? Why don't you improve it? Yeah, okay. There's this advert that is always on CNN talking about this family that invented this pepper syrup.
Okay.
The pepper syrup was first introduced in 18 something by their great great grandfather, and throughout his period of living and the course of business that he did, he was able to produce 350,000 units of those products. But now, when the CEO now, the great great grandson was talking, said the production of their father throughout his lifetime was what they are even producing times two of it in a day. So that's what is called improvement.
Okay.
We must try to see how can we improve the businesses that our parents are doing. We shouldn't just look at okay, it is this now money. No, the money that will last leave you
Yes.
is what is called wealth.
Yes, that is it. All right, we want to take some messages right now. The text and WhatsApp line to be part of this conversation is 070-317-56537. It's 16 minutes to 9 this morning. This is the newspaper review. Ademi Adeolu is helping us with the analysis here, and my name is Daniel Adaja. I want to take some of your messages. Engineer Wale Nikorodu says, compliments of the season. And Papa Grid is a collective duty. Federal government should look for the big places to this trailer so that these trailers can park their truck. And likewise, government should use odd and even number policy so as to stop the traffic they are causing on our roads. Truck drivers should also follow government directive. Engineer Wale in Ikorodu. All right, trying to take, okay, we have more WhatsApp messages than text message. All right, I'm going to go straight into the WhatsApp platform right now. This is from Engineer Wale Idikorodu. Okay, I think he sent a different one here. The federal and state government should not think of any lockdown early next year because it is dangerous and tantamount. Kuku's Christmas message was quite unfortunate. Our religious leaders should mind the way they talk in order not to set the nation on fire. Bishop Kuku is a man to preach peace because Nigeria is too volatile and fragile right now. Engineer Wale in Ikorodu. It says here, Reverend Kuku to me is not happy with PMB because the uncensored cash in circulation during the last administration has ceased flow in the ministry, is losing shape. He just have to cry out. If this is true, that the House of Representatives begged PMB for inviting him on security matter that support is supposed to appear on, then this country is going deep into more mess. Rosenje Mutiu in Alakbere. It says, Sam in the cotton says, Daniel, all issues we talk about on a daily basis can all be rooted from leadership issues, including Apapa Palava. Everybody is talking about leadership. You get it wrong at the top, forget the rest. Your responsibility now as a citizen is comes all out of our voters' cards to change the narrative in the next election. That's Sam Inikotun. This one says, Dan, compliment of the season also to Mr. Ademi. It is obvious that the Attorney General is carrying out his functions like a politician and who is qualified to make legislative argument. The nation is moving backward and he is worried about President honoring the House of Assembly's invitation on security matters. The security situation in Nigeria is getting out of hand and it is obvious. Mufe Steven in Ikotun. All right, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Still thanking God for keeping our radio family alive. Long live Women Radio. All right, Victor L. Kennedy. It says here, regarding the Apapa gridlock, the most difficult task in life is getting government officials to reason proper. This is Victor Kennedy. All right. It says, Daniel, please organize the family meeting so we can raise creators of jobs and make a difference in our generation. Okay, we're going to look into that as a Women Radio. That's Victor Kennedy. A lot of insightful things that Mr. Ademi said this morning, which I totally agree with. I totally agree, but I feel like it's not a conversation for the newspaper review. We most likely would talk about this sometimes next year. And I'm looking at it from doing something about the level of, looking at breaking these financial barriers in Africa. And this is a very important conversation. You talk about the fact, you mentioned something which is very key. a lot of the kids in this generation are doing something outside of what their parents are doing, and we sort of take pride in it. We take pride in the fact that, you know, my dad, you know, somebody say, oh, my dad is a doctor, I'm an engineer. It's cool, it's great, it's fantastic that you're doing something for yourself. But I get the part where you say, you know, we must be able to do things that can be passed on from one generation. If you study engineering, now your son comes study, there is nothing bringing about that transference of wealth. We're going to get to that. Let's take some more messages here. Israel Inogido says, good morning, Mr. Dan and Adeolu. Recall that since the Civil War, the orientation of certain people that Britain sold Nigeria into their hands, knew that if the seaport in the South are not allowed to work. All right. This is the result of the pressure and gridlock in Apapa and Lagos. So the man that said the cost of shipping from Germany is cheaper to move his goods from Apapa to his warehouse. To move to his warehouse within Lagos is correct. The fear that South will perform greatly in all areas, reading the handwritings of then the Civil War is tremor to the north. All right. This is Israel in Ogijo. I'm wondering where that perspective is coming from, but we'll look into it. FGN, Federal Government of Nigeria, should please revisit the registration issues. Getting 2 million youths out of job is not healthy for our economy and our porous security architecture. No, not revisiting that decision is likened to sitting on a gunpowder keg. All right, Teresa Jemutu sending us that message. 070-317-56537. It says, in my opinion, I think people in this country are biased, especially those in the government of the day and a section of the country. Our president is not even getting a quarter of the criticism that former President Jonathan got, particularly from this government. So why they decry calling for his head? What about OBJ? What about Yinka Odumaki? What about those from the north and the south is speaking against the government? Please and please, they should put Reverend Kuku down. I'm totally tired of what I have been tired of. All right. If we talk, we die. If we don't talk, we still die. So let's talk. James Ogbonna in Oshodi. 070-317-56537. Okay, this is coming in from Chuks in Ikeja. Chuks says, good morning. The financial terms understates the cost of moving understates the cost of moving a container from a tin can or a Apapa port to any warehouse just within Lagos metropolis. The cost is usually between 2 million and 2.5 million. So Chuks is saying is more than 1.5 million. It says Nigeria and in Nigeria and is rising steady. Nigeria has never ever been blessed with men and women with conscience and the fear of God. All right, this is coming in from Chuks. It says the custom makes more money than the government per container. And that's the more reason why they do everything humanly possible to kill any innovation or system that can make things work better in the port. All right, Merry Christmas to you. Private sector is not any different from the public sector. The men and women on the top corners and divert everything to themselves and their corners in other persons to live a miserable life because they have lost all moral values. All right. He also has here the people condemning. I'm going to read your message before I'm going to have to read it to myself before I read it out. Thank you very much, Chuks. All right. It says on the port issue, the one-shop strategy should be adoption, duplication of duties and functions. Government agencies should be reduced as we had it before. GM Kazim in Obadori sending us that message there this morning. Right. A lot of people have comments on the issue with regards to the port, and we just hope. And I'm seeing how amazing that place looks like. I was on the water and I was seeing this is an amazing place, and this water connects various places. So there is
as far as Ikorodu.
Yes, as far as Ikorodu, you know, some of my friends who came in from Aja came in via the boat to Satellite Town. And this is something we're not even exploring. We're not exploring our water transportation as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know, I've had friends who have taken boat from Edo to Lagos.
Yeah, that's very well.
Yes, and you know, I just hope we are able to fix these issues, explore our other ports in other parts of the country, and see how we can decongest Lagos. But there are a lot of people that are moving goods from Lagos to Owerri. Why are we doing that? You know, there's still so much to ask on what exactly is going on. and we need to get things right. All right. We take just one more headline because we're way out of our time already. I want to look at this particular headline, which has sparked some level of conversation, which is Buhari did not demand apology over invitation on insecurity. It's coming in from the House. So the House of Representatives has faulted reports that it apologized to President Muhammadu Buhari for inviting him earlier this month to brief it on the worsening security situation in the country. The spokesperson to the House, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, in a statement said it had come to the House that few sections of the media reported that the House apologized to the presidency over the resolution of the House, which arose from a motion sponsored by the member of Borno State requesting for the invitation of Mr. President to brief the nation on the state of insecurity in the country. The president or the presidency, as the case may be, never sought for an apology from the House of Representatives for carrying out their constitutional responsibility to the Nigerian electorate. Where then did the media get the report? House, as an institution, apologize to anyone. Media professionals are advised to uphold the ethics of their profession. Well, that's the best of information that we have, that they have debunked this report. I didn't actually take it. I had to wait properly when I saw it at first. Now that they have come to clarify this, but this calls for a lot of questions, right? This is coming from two angles. Yesterday there was a headline on the dailies which I got very, very uncomfortable with, on how this headline made its way to the papers. The headline read that a particular community in the north paid, I really can't remember the title of the headline, paid ransom to bandits for them to be able to celebrate Christmas. That was the headline, and it was very detailed. And I'm asking myself, what's the level of intelligence report from the Nigerian security agencies in this part? So it means for these individuals that paid this money to bandits were living in IDP camps. They paid money to bandits, so they know these bandits. They paid them, I think, about 3 million for them to be able to spend Christmas and to spend the festivity in their homes.
Each free,
And I'm wondering, how did that headline even make its way to the front of the papers in the first place?
Why would it not make its way to the front paper? Why? Why do you expect that? You should know that people there are human beings. And when you do something that it is not usual, you should be able to discuss. You want to you say problem shared is a problem solved. There will be somebody you want to talk to, and that's what happens.
I'm not discarding the fact that we're supposed to get to know about those things, but I'm concerned about the security.
The problem we should be talking about is that why would these people pay that money to secure themselves just to enjoy this Christmas? That's the question we should be asking. Thank God that it came open. It's very important. It's to still show us the laxity of the security agency of Nigeria. It shows us that we are not up to the task. It shows that we are not doing the right thing in the right direction. We are not taking the bull by the horn. Even when you say the security, you're talking about the intelligence report. I've told you severally, there is always intelligence report, but actions is what is lacking to follow up this intelligence report. I've always been telling you that there's always intelligence report. Okay, now tell me, why would those people pay the bandits? No, they will enjoy it. That means that there must have been reports that the bandits will be infiltrating them or invading them. There must have been a report regarding that aspect.
That's why done with that report?
That was why they have to go and do the needful before they come.
All right. We have to wrap up right now. I think I'll take this last one from Trick. It says that the people condemning Bishop Machukuku must be too young when he was the secretary to the Catholic Bishop Conference of Nigeria during Babangida and Abacha era. Bishop Kuku has always stated things the way he sees it. All right, a lot of people wondering why I'm pretty much quiet on that conversation, but I think I did make a special episode on my podcast to talk about it, to get my perspective on this one. But this is where we'll wrap up this one. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. I'm still going to see you before the end of the year on Thursday, and thank you for being part of the newspaper review this morning. My name is Daniel Adajo. Happy holidays for those who are on holidays. For those who still have to work every day, God bless you and God continue to strengthen you about your daily activities. Please let's remember to stay safe. Let's protect ourselves. The coronavirus is very, very much real, and we need to do everything within our capacity to make sure that we protect ourselves and those around us. Good morning.
We are WFM 91.7, the voice of women, using radio as a tool for women development. We condemn the abuse of women, girls, and children in any shape or form. The voice of women.
See you again till next week. I've really missed you.